Thank you. I wanted to extend my appreciation to Kita and also to ASOC for putting this fabulous event together. But I want to also extend my thanks to all of you, the ones who are in the trenches, doing business, creating jobs, and building this economy. My name is Andrew Yu from Fairfax County Economic Development Authority, and I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and explain to you about my jurisdiction a little bit, but also about the opportunities that Fairfax County has for perhaps, hopefully, many of you. So for those of you who've never heard of Fairfax County, we're a county, a small jurisdiction within the state of Virginia, and we're located on the eastern seaboard. And our neighbor in our backyard happens to be Washington, D.C. And the reason why Washington, D.C. is significant is because Washington, D.C. is the home of the federal government. And why that is significant is because the federal government happens to be the single largest purchaser of goods and services in the world. They buy everything from pencils, papers, chairs, water, cups, very simple products, as well as very complex missile systems, radar systems, military systems, and the like. And so as you can see from this slide here, the federal government, according to the White House, has a budget of $3.6 trillion for year 2012. And that is spent by, which one is this? All these different agencies. The largest purchaser of goods and services, probably the Defense Department. But there are other agencies, agriculture, education, housing and urban development, justice, transportation, etc., that spends a lot of money. And so what does that mean for Virginia, and in particular, Fairfax County? The federal government spends nearly $500 billion in private sector procurement. Virginia happens to be number one in attracting that money for federal procurement spending and part of the DoD spending. In 2010, Virginia has received $136 billion in federal spending and $58 billion from the DoD. And that accounts for about 43% of federal dollars and 10% of all DoD outlays worldwide. And in Virginia, Fairfax County, Northern Virginia, happens to account for about 75% of all the procurement dollars that Virginia receives, just because of all the companies that have made Fairfax County and Northern Virginia their home. So there are a lot of opportunities in Northern Virginia. As I mentioned, federal government spends a lot of money in buying a lot of different things, but I wanted to focus on just a couple of different sectors, telecom and mobility, just because I know many of you are in that high-tech IT world. And the trend, as it's true in the commercial sector, is also true in the government sector, that they're moving from a office-bound worker to a more mobile-bound worker. So what does that mean for the federal government? Studies have revealed that the federal mobile tablet use, so the Galaxies and the iPads and the like, will nearly triple by year 2013. So just next year, they're going to triple that. Federal workforce will need to add approximately 500,000 tablets and 350,000 more smartphones in the next couple of years. And half the IT professionals in the federal government believe that mobility is a requirement to be successful. And they need to be equipped with more than just a desktop. They'll need their laptops, they'll need their tablets, they'll need their smartphones. And to support the mobile workforce, agency needs to support them with software, with the hardware that comes with equipping their workforce. So they need to manage the growing number of devices and offer solutions that enhance productivity. So what does that mean? They are looking at identity management, access control, messaging, collaboration, mobile application, and cloud solutions to all the software solutions that support the hardware that they're moving towards. So what are the areas of opportunity? There's software, hardware, servers, satellites, tablets and smartphones, cloud computing, laptops, and other enterprise, other enterprise mobile products. So what do you need to do in search for that success? And this is what I've been telling a lot of the companies. Many of you like murder mysteries. And a solution to solving a crime, one of the rules of thumb is to follow the money. And that's not too different for finding success in business. So in order to be successful in business, you need to follow the money. And as I said earlier, we are federal government happens to be right in our backyard. And they spend about $3.6 trillion a year in their budget. And Fairfax County, Northern Virginia, happens to receive a lot of it. As I mentioned, #1 for the state, and we, Fairfax County, receive a lot of the Virginia portion. So we have about 376 foreign companies who have identified that Fairfax County is the right location in pursuit of that business success, to capture some of that business opportunities that arise out of all the spending that federal government makes. And among the foreign-owned firms, many of the Korean companies have decided to come to Fairfax County. Korean Air, KEPCO, KIPI, Korean Air, Aerospace, Iritech. And so my hope is that many of you, as you plan on doing international business, as you plan on doing and taking advantage of the FTA opportunity for the U.S., hope that you will choose Fairfax County as your destination. Now, I know that I've been told that you all don't want to hear from me, and I understand. I don't have any business opportunities. So I've asked 3 of my friends to speak to you about business environment and business opportunities. And so I am going to, can you help me a little bit here? I'm going to run this video, and these are 3 of my friends who are founders of associations, and they'll speak to you on business opportunities in Fairfax County in Northern Virginia.
MoDev DC is part of a group called MoDev, which is a group of mobile developers, marketers, and designers. And the purpose of the group is to advance the cause of mobile here in the United States and beyond. Well, if you look at what's happening in the investment space, venture capital has put $6.2 billion into mobile in 2011. And those investments are in areas of mobile commerce, advertising and marketing, mobile health, and gaming. If you look across all these areas, a lot of the investments are in companies that are platforms as opposed to end-user applications. So I'd say the rise of the platform is the most exciting area in the mobile space. Well, this region has a rich history of innovation, going back to the telecom industry, which has very deep roots in this region. And then the rise of the internet era spawned a lot of really leading companies, international companies, based right here in this area. And now you've got companies such as Capital One and Gannett making big investments in mobile. All this has really led to a strong rise in the mobile industry here in the region. And then you bring in the government sector. We have a very strong government presence here, and there's a lot going on with bringing mobile into the government. So there are many opportunities across different sectors in this region, and that's led to a very strong mobile development community. Well, as we said, there's been $6.2 billion of venture capital poured into this industry, into the mobile industry. There is a huge demand for mobile innovation, mobile technology, and mobile partners here in the U.S. to fuel all this growth. So we can take all the partners and technologies that we can get right now, and I think for the next 5 to 10 years it's going to be that way. So we're open for business, we like to say here in the United States, for new partners to come and do business.
Well, the Telecom Hub is a networking organization that I founded in 1999, and the purpose of the organization really was to bring people together from the telecom community and allow those individuals to have contacts with each other and to hear interesting content on topics in the telecom and technology industry. For the last 12 years, we've met on a regular basis each month, and we have over 5,000 active members and participants in the organization. I think there are great growth opportunities throughout the telecom industry, and the first area that I would mention would be in the mobility space. This has become a wireless world, and things are happening so fast in the mobile community, at times it's hard to keep up. We have mobile data, mobile broadband, mobile internet, and even areas in the payment industry, mobile payments. So the mobile space is just very dynamic and growing rapidly at this point. In addition to that, high-speed data with so many businesses and individuals who are trying to access the internet, and the growth of internet traffic has led the high-speed data business to be growing at an astronomical rate. And then there's some interesting new areas, for instance, machine-to-machine communications, or as many people know it, M2M. There are said to be 50 billion connected devices that will need to communicate with one another by the year 2020. So 50 billion, it's an amazingly powerful number, and that will all happen through machine-to-machine solutions. And then, of course, many people are familiar with all of the excitement going on with cloud computing. Right now, the cloud is a very hot space, and that area has a lot of growth potential as well. The DC area is unique in that we have just a different blend or mix of companies who compete both on the commercial side and also companies that sell to the federal government. It's like no other market in the United States. You know, we truly have some unique qualities, and all of the large telecom and technology players have a presence here in this region. You know, companies like Verizon and AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, all of these companies have many people that serve this market, and they're constantly looking at what is happening with the federal government marketplace and designing new products and services that they will then sell, to the customers in the federal community. So this sector is driven by what happens with the federal government, and at various times during the last 25 years, the technology space has been in an up cycle, and the federal space could be in a down cycle, or vice versa. In recent years, the federal marketplace has been very hot, and all of the companies in telecom and technology have been devoting a lot of effort, a lot of opportunity to developing the right products and services for the federal marketplace. Yeah, I had a very good experience working for a Korean firm a couple of years ago, and during that time I learned that the Korean companies are extremely dynamic and they are very innovative. They're very quick to bringing services to market, and they know how to compete in a competitive environment. And I think all of those qualities are very important for companies, regardless of where they're coming from, to be successful in the U.S. market. But the Korean companies in particular seem to have a knack for those certain areas and are very proficient in the areas that I just described, which will certainly help to make those companies very successful here in the U.S. marketplace.
So the Northern Virginia Technology Council is the largest trade and membership association for the technology community in the nation. And the Entrepreneur Center is a project within NVTC focused on supporting entrepreneurs and startups in the region. We do a variety of mentoring and advising programs, an intensive 10-week entrepreneur training program, give companies the opportunity to pitch about their business concepts, the chance to hear from successful entrepreneurs about their experiences, as well as get them in front of potential partners and teaming opportunities with our prime contractors in the region, as well as various government agencies. So I really think that those entrepreneurs that learn from the successful entrepreneurs in the region really have a leg up on the others. Those who actually take the time to listen to those people who have been in the place that they are now, be able to be educated by them, but also to use them as part of the network. We really feel that that is a big key in this region, the opportunity to get out, be able to talk to individuals about what you're doing, be able to spread the word about your companies. NVTC does anywhere between 85 and 100 events a year, so there's a lot of opportunities for companies to come out and be able to meet potential partners, customers, investors, and really be able to get known in the region. So several of the items that I think are very beneficial for companies here in Northern Virginia. The first is the infrastructure that we have in place. There are a number of organizations as well as individuals who are really there supporting the entrepreneurs through their entire development, through mentoring, through networking, and through opportunities just to learn. There's also the federal government. A lot of the companies that we work with at NVTC have a component within the government space, and having Washington, D.C. right in our background is a real benefit for them as one of the largest customers to our companies in this region. And then finally, organizations like CNBC and Forbes continually name Northern Virginia as one of the best places to do business. It's because of our business-friendly climate here, as well as an educated workforce, less regulatory restrictions, as well as incentives that there are for small businesses to start and grow companies.